Kenya's economic growth in 2014 slowed down to 5.3% compared to 5.7% the previous year. This is attributed to slow growth in key sectors of the economy such as tourism and agriculture. Elayne Wangalwa has more on this.
The Kenyan government had been optimistic of registering improved growth in 2014 despite obvious challenges. It has come to pass that the economy grew slower than the previous year as most sectors recorded a depressed growth, according to the latest data from Kenya's National Bureau of Statistics.
That there's an increasing demand for data. Devolution is a whole new world. Vision 2030 is not going to go away. It's a constant further demand. We have to respond to this. We've got to. So these are the four, what I would call the new demands, but then ordinary planning, ordinary budgeting, all of these require data. And this is what the economic survey does. It provides a basis from which people can work.
In the agricultural sector, coming back now to the domestic economy, in 2014, it recorded a growth of 3.5% compared to a growth of 5.2% in 2013. This mixed performance is mainly attributable to the erratic rains, with some regions experiencing depressed rainfalls, as we are all aware. The value of marketed agricultural production at current prices also declined from 334 billion shillings in 2013 to 333 billion in 2014.
Tourism, that for years remained the jewel in the crown in Kenya's economy, recorded a poor run as security concerns occasioned by terror attacks reigned. 2014 also saw most traditional tourist sources for Kenya issue travel advisories that further hurt the sector.
If you look at the tourism sector, the number of international visitor arrivals contracted by 11.1% from 1.5 million visitors in 2013 to 1.35 million. The tourism earnings similarly declined by 7.3% from 94 billion shillings to 87 billion over the same period. The factors that impacted negatively in the tourism sector, we all know, are the security concerns, the negative travel advisories, and the fear of the spread of Ebola. Also, it seemed to have contributed to the depressed numbers.
In manufacturing, the sector declined in 2014, registering 3.4% growth compared to 5.6% in the previous year. Despite the decline, the sector managed to register an increase in formal employment in the country.
In the manufacturing sector, the contribution to gross domestic product remained at 10%. The sector recorded a growth of 3.4% in 2014 compared to a growth of 5.6% in 2013. The growth was partly due to modest inflation and a decrease in oil prices, which led to the reduction of input costs. With regard to formal employment in the manufacturing sector, it increased by 2.9% from 279,000 in 2013 to 287,000 in 2014.
But all was not covered in gloom in the year under review. Sectors like ICT and construction registered impressive growth, backed by increased investments both at the national and county levels.
In the building and construction sector, it registered an accelerated growth. I think this was the best performing sector, of 13.1% in 2014 compared to a revised growth of 5.8% in 2013. You can see that is a significant growth. This growth is attributed to an increase in funds allocated to construction of roads and railways, coupled with the rehabilitation of existing road networks.
For 2015, Kenya expects an accelerated growth across most sectors. This, the government holds, will be sustained on a number of policy interventions already lined up.
The government's optimism is a bit far-fetched. And when we look at the factors that the economy is facing right now, especially the shocks that the economy is facing, we look at the current exchange rate to the dollar. The Kenyan shilling is actually weakening to the dollar. And the second thing, our main forex earners in agriculture and tourism are actually struggling at the moment. And they've been struggling since, I think, the second half of last year. And I think based on those three factors, I think even this year we'll probably see the same effects, sort of having a domino effect on the economy. So I don't think that we'll probably see some strengthening of economic growth. We'll probably see a slight weakening in it.